What's up everybody, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I wanted to take the time to talk about why the hell I'm shooting film in 2021 and why I decided to transition from digital photography to film photography when digital cameras are so good nowadays and so easy, even small and practical to use and just so convenient. And yeah, today I wanted to talk about why I still decide to shoot film. To completely understand this, I thought it would be useful for you guys to actually know how I got started on photography in the first place. And it basically all started in the summer of 2015 when I bought my first smartphone, my first real capable smartphone, which was a Galaxy S6 Edge. And honestly, that phone was a phone with a camera that was pretty capable for what cameras on smartphones could do back in the day. And I was so obsessed with YouTube and watching these filmmaking videos and these videography videos that Sam Calder and Peter McKinnon and people like that were making, that I really was so inspired to create those visuals and those cinematic videos that they were creating for myself. And throughout the years, I actually realized that, okay, videography might not be for me. And maybe it's also because videography is super hard and photography is somewhat easier in my opinion. So I decided to go for photography, and a year later I bought my very first digital camera body, which is the camera I'm recording on right now, so it served me pretty well. It's an Olympus EM1 Mark II, and that really lit a fire in me and got everything going. And from that moment on, bro, I could not be stopped. In a week I'd probably go out to shoot 3 or 4 times, and I shot so much. I shot street photography, cityscape photography, automotive photography, portraits, landscape photography, all types of photography, and I was just so obsessed with it. And for the next 4 or 5 years I just could not be stopped. This was everything I wanted to do, and all my free time was used on shooting digital photography. But then the coronavirus hit, and that honestly had a huge hit on my motivation and on how inspired I was feeling to create, because that was the first time in my life where I couldn't use that creative outlet of just picking up my camera and going out to the city and just shoot and create something. It was the first time I had lost this creative outlet, and honestly in the beginning it was super devastating and very hard to accept that that was the case. But as time went on and the lockdown just continued and seemingly all hopes of the lockdown ending came to a crashing halt, I just accepted the fact that the situation is the way it is and I can't change it. And I just started to realize I have so much time on my hands when I don't pick up the camera and when I'm not doing photography, because as I mentioned, guys, that was everything I did. I didn't do anything else. And so I just realized, hey, I have other passions as well. There are other things that I want to do as well. And I realized, okay, I like working on cars. I have an E39 530i that you might have seen in the previous video. I like working on cars. I like doing that with my friends. I like driving it. I like going to car shows, showing the car, and just all things automotive. I really like that and really enjoy that. And I decided to spend my time more on that because that was something I could still do. And I just realized, okay, I was young, I was 18, and I realized there's so many other things, also many things that just teenagers want to do that I want to do, and photography is just taking up so much of that time. I just might as well leave the camera at home. And that really marked a change for me, because for the next 4 years, this camera that I'm recording on right now lived in my camera bag and I did not touch it, even when I should have. Just a real quick intermission, guys. I'm currently editing the video that you guys are currently watching, and I've realized it's become more of like a talking head video, and honestly I quite like the style. Definitely let me know if you like the style of video where I'm just talking about a subject that lies on my heart and is close to my heart. Just leave a comment down below if you like it, and I'll continue making them. I'm having a blast making them, so if you like them, leave a like and comment it down below. So you might wonder how I actually got started on film and what sparked that, and basically it was not my doing. I won't take any credit for it. Actually, my girlfriend gifted me this guy, the Agfa Optima 1 film camera, 35mm film camera, for my birthday. And bro, this camera changed everything for me. Even though after I got it, we went to a trip to Barcelona 2 weeks later, I just had planned to use the film camera casually. I just had brought one roll, 36 shots. I thought that would be enough. That would be more than sufficient on what I want to do in Barcelona. I didn't know that this camera would change everything for me, and that one day when I went to the grocery store in Barcelona, actually it was our first day in Barcelona, I just decided, okay, I'll just bring the camera. She's gifted it to me for my birthday and I just want to try it out. And I lifted the camera up to my face and looked to the viewfinder, and this fire that used to be in me for photography just got reignited instantly. I liked the feel of the camera. I liked how the shutter sounded. I liked how the whine sound, guys, listen to it, the spring back. And I just even liked how the rings sound on the camera when they clashed with the camera body. I just liked everything about it, and the experience was so rich that the next day I remember looking up on my phone, okay, where can I get more film? I only have one roll, I want to shoot more film. And luckily there was a lomography store not far from me, so I walked over there. Obviously I didn't know what lomography was at that point, but at this point, shout out to lomography. I love everything that you guys do. And I bought a couple of more rolls of film. I bought I think 4 rolls of Portra 400, and I just bought Portra 400 because that's what I have heard on Instagram before. I've heard that term being thrown around in forums and stuff, like Portra is the best film. And I bought a couple of rolls of Kodak Gold 200 basically because it was the cheapest film stock that they had. And what I also bought was this guy, the Vivita PS35. Let me just give you guys a little listen on what this camera sounds like. Bro, even the automatic whine sounds crazy, and it's just so satisfying to use. And these two cameras led to me shooting 7 rolls in 5 days, which is quite a lot even for my Zenhead today, because I was just having so much fun, and I was quite blown away by the results. And that's basically what got me started on film. Another big reason why I enjoy film photography so much is because it's a bit of a bigger and better and longer and nicer and more fun experience than shooting digital. Obviously I'm very biased because of the recency of all of this, but I just really enjoy the experience, the whole experience from start to finish. And I've written some of the points down that make the experience especially rich for me. And the first point is just the slow down pace of film. I used to shoot street photography a lot digitally, and that's a super fast-paced style of photography, and just switching it up and being able to use a tripod from time to time, or being forced to use a tripod from time to time, or really just thinking about your shot, because there's a certain financial value tied to your image. Today with developing an image can cost above $1 or even $2 just to shoot it, and that really makes you think about, okay, do I really like this composition? Are my settings right? Is the exposure good? Did I do everything correctly? And do I really want to take that shot? And I found that in the past on digital, I've just taken a lot of snapshots that in the end weren't meaningful at all. And on on film, that is just not the case, because my brain is working so much more, and I'm really thinking about what I'm shooting, because if I mess it up, there's a financial punishment. Also, I just really enjoy the mechanical hands-on experience of film. I mean, with this point and shoot cameras not as much, but I also have an OLYMPUS SP SLR, film SLR. And it's just you can use the camera fully mechanically. There's no real electronics that will help you, and the sounds, again, obviously amazing. And just the thought of really using the machine and telling the camera what to do, and everything boiling down to what you do and what you input into the camera, just is a really nice concept and really fun concept for me. And I just really enjoy the mechanical hands-on experience with film. The probably biggest point for me that enriches this experience is the anticipation. Most of you guys probably know that, but there might be 1 or 2 people in the audience that don't know this. Film cameras don't have LCD back screens, so you can't see what you're doing. You can only see the image after you developed and scanned it, and that usually can take up to 2 weeks. So the anticipation is a big part of film photography, and not knowing how you did, or if the image was shit or if the image was good, is a quite nerve-wracking experience, but also really exciting. I know it can be super frustrating, and believe me guys, I've shot blank rolls too. I've opened the film camera up when there was film loaded inside and ruined rolls like that. So believe me, it can be super frustrating, and it also just can cost $70 if you just ruined a stack of film. So believe me, it can be frustrating, but it can also just be so rewarding. Let's say for example you go on a trip and you only shoot film. You might have already forgotten what you shot, and the surprise and the reward of taking good pictures and seeing them afterwards is just such a nice feeling that you won't get anywhere else other than in film photography. And also because the process is a bit harder, I would say after you get the gist of it, it's actually not that much harder than digital shooting. But because the process is a bit more complex and you have to put more thought into it, really getting everything right and getting that good image is just super rewarding. I know I've talked about the process quite a bit in the previous points, but I actually wanted to talk about the process right now because this is how I've written it down in my script, but honestly I'm just going off the head and this is just a guide for me. It's a big point for me because the process is just so much more involved and longer, and there are more steps than digital. Because in the beginning you have to choose your film stock, then you have to load the camera, then you have to shoot, then go to the lab, get the film developed, get it scanned, and after that you can put an edit on it or print it or whatever you want to do with it. But it's just a much longer step, a much longer process than digital. And you might think, bro, that just sounds so troublesome and horrible. And honestly, it is a bit troublesome, but that's just the certain charm that it has, and the certain, it's just nice. I don't know why it is, but experiencing this and going to the developer or developing yourself and scanning the film. I scan the film myself. It's super tedious, but it's such a fun process that I wouldn't trade it for anything else, and honestly it just adds to why I enjoy shooting film. Now let's talk about the results that I've been getting with film. And honestly, I've been pretty lucky that I happened to start on fully automatic cameras. This is a fully automatic camera, and the second film camera that I bought in Barcelona, the Vivita PS35, obviously also is a point and shoot fully automatic autofocus camera. So the learning curve was not as big, and I probably didn't make as many mistakes as I would with a fully mechanical and manual SLR. But honestly, I've been pretty happy with the results I've been getting on film, and I don't want to sound too conceited, but I'm also pretty proud of myself because I never thought that I'll be able to take those pictures on film. I've taken some of my favorite pictures of all time on film, but that's also maybe because I've changed my style, or film forced me to change my style a bit. I now really like bright scenes and sunny scenes. I used to only like dark and rainy scenes. But honestly, some of the best work I've ever created on film, and I've been super happy with how that has been going. Let's conclude all this, guys. I know I've been yapping a lot in this video because I'm basically just drooling about film photography because I'm so obsessed and so in love with it. But yeah, to conclude, I'm just really happy that this film photography process has just re-sparked so much interest, motivation and inspiration and dedication for me for photography in general. And it honestly feels like a fresh start. It feels like I'm rediscovering photography as a whole. Like, there's so many new things that I'm learning that feel like I'm at the very beginning, and not in a bad way. It just feels like I'm being able to fall in love with photography again, which is honestly a great feeling after the fact that I've basically fallen out of love with photography during the coronavirus pandemic. So honestly, a great feeling, and that is the big takeaway from today's video. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end the video here, and definitely stay tuned for the next videos that are coming up. The next video will be me trying out Kodak Vision 3 in Berlin, and I haven't seen the results. I'm really stoked to see those, and I think it's gonna be a good video, so definitely stay tuned for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, and if you loved it, maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. I know we are a small channel, but we are about to hit 1000 subscribers, and that would be a huge milestone for me. So if you could do me a favor, just scroll down and hit that subscribe button. Anyway, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.